It's such a good social commentary on where we're at. I wonder, how have you found it? Because I meet a lot of ambitious young women who want to do really, really well, and they seem to intimidate men today. And I look at that from the men's perspective, and I understand that it's new for men. A lot of men feel left behind. They've inherited the pain of the men who came before them, who've abused power or used it wrongly. If a woman's ambitious right now, how does she continue to be ambitious and still find a man that gets that and respects that from a financial point of view?
Yeah, the hard truth that I've found as a woman who you could say is hard charging is that you can't play a man's game and win in this society. And I'm not sure we should. And so what do I mean by that? I mean that men are push, aggressive, or even our physiology, right? One is receiving and one is certainly giving. And so today, I think if you are a young woman who's really hard charging, you have to think about, are you being ambitious and intimidating, or are you being kind of a bitch? And I think a lot of time, because we felt like we have to stand up, we have to push for ourselves, we're actually just not being that nice as women. And it's that, you can go get it, girl, and you don't need a man, and he's not listening to you, and blah, blah, blah. That energy is really negative. Men don't need that. The two women that I know that are lovely, and they're single. And, everybody I know tells them all the time, can't believe you're single, you shouldn't be single. But what do they say often? One of them, who I adore, and I'm kind of have given her my opinion on this, but she says all the time, well, I don't want to mother any more men. I don't want to mother them. You know what? All these boys. Well, if you keep calling them that, then that is what they will be. And so you've got to be really careful about not demasculating men. And you've got to be really careful about making sure that they care about the two things they care about more than women do, which is they care about respect. And, women really, we want to be loved. You guys want to be respected, right? By and large, gross generalization. And so in driving businesses, I have to remember that all the time. I employ men. I just had a conversation right before this where I steamrolled somebody. I totally owned the entire meeting. I just kept talking, and I was really aggressive. And I lectured a little bit in the meeting. And thankfully, my person in this situation was like, hey, by the way, it felt a little bit like a lecture. It felt like they needed to be heard, not pushed so much. And I was like, God, you're right. And that's when the negative feminine shows up in my mind, is when we think, let me just keep going. I'm going to pound on this. So I would push back on the negative. Are you really intimidating men, or are you being mean? And I think often we are being a little mean. And so we need to pull that back. Not all men want to dominate you. A lot of men are the best mentors I've ever had.
Yeah. And it's that hard part for women, because men for so long have gotten away with pounding the pavement, right? So if a man behaved there in a meeting, would he get the same feedback?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. He'd just be told that's normal, and he'd get away with it, and he'd move on. And so it's almost what people expect of you, and it shouldn't be based on gender. It should be based on your demeanor. For example, I'm not someone who gets angry or shouts at people, or it's just not who I am.
Yeah.
So if I did it, it would be so out of character that I think someone would cry. It's you think the person who shouts at you every day makes you cry. No. It's the person who's really silent and calm, that if they lost it, you'd be heartbroken because you don't expect it from them. And I think this all gets difficult when we're talking about money, because money creates power dynamics.